Chiefs Kingdom, I'm going to be honest with you right now. What the Kansas City Chiefs have done in just the first few days of this offseason is not normal. This is not a team that went 6-11 last year, missed the playoffs for the first time since 2014, and decided to quietly rebuild. No. This front office came out swinging. Travis Kelce is back for his 14th season. Super Bowl 60 MVP Kenneth Walker III is now a Chief. Eric Bieniemy has returned as offensive coordinator. And the roster moves, both coming and going, are completely reshaping what this team is going to look like in 2026. There is a real sense right now that Kansas City is done being patient. They're done rebuilding their ego after a brutal season. And the moves they're making are sending one clear message to the rest of the NFL: we're coming back. I'm David. I cover this team every single day. And if you've been watching the Chiefs as long as I have, you can already feel that something different is building in Kansas City. Stick with me because we're breaking down every major move, and I'll tell you why one specific signing might quietly change everything about how this offense works. And before we get into it, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. The 2025 season was painful. Kansas City finished 6-11. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL and LCL in a Week 15 loss to the Chargers, one of the most gut-wrenching moments of this entire era. The run game was historically bad. Their starting running backs, Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, both averaged under 4.0 yards per carry. The team ranked 25th in the NFL in total rushing yards. Mahomes himself ran for 422 yards trying to compensate for how broken the ground game was. Think about that for a second. The quarterback was their most dangerous rusher. That's not a championship formula. That's a team that leaned too hard on one man and paid the price. So when Brett Veach and Andy Reid sat down this offseason, they weren't looking at small fixes. They were looking at a complete philosophical reset. Less reliance on Mahomes to create every single big play. More balance. More physicality. More of the identity that made the Chiefs so dominant in the early Mahomes years. And that's exactly what you see in these moves. Let's start with the move that ended months of speculation. Travis Kelce is coming back. After a 6-11 season and a lot of noise around whether he'd retire, Kelce signed a new deal to return for his 14th season in Kansas City. The contract is structured as a 3-year deal worth up to $54 million, but the real number that matters is $12 million fully guaranteed for 2026, with up to $3 million more in incentives tied to playoff appearances and snap counts. The additional 2 years in the contract are essentially cap management tools. It gives Brett Veach flexibility and gives Kelce a clear path to retirement after the season if he chooses. What makes this even more powerful is how it happened. When Kelce officially signed at the facility, Mahomes, who is still rehabbing from his ACL surgery and couldn't be there in person, jumped on FaceTime. And the moment the Chiefs captured on camera? Pure. Kelce picks up the phone and just lights up. Patricio! Let's go, baby! Home sweet home. And Mahomes comes right back. Home sweet home. Look at the beard too, man. That man is ready to go. That's not just a feel-good moment. That's two guys who have built one of the greatest quarterback tight end partnerships in NFL history telling you they're not done yet. In 123 games together, Kelce has caught 753 passes from Mahomes for 8,923 yards and 61 touchdowns. The NFL record books already have their names etched in them. But clearly, both of them believe there are more chapters to write. For Chiefs fans, Kelce's return isn't just about stats. It's about identity. It's about leadership in a locker room that needs it after a difficult year. And it's about having the most trusted target ready and waiting when Mahomes steps back on the field. Now here's where this offseason gets really interesting. The Chiefs didn't just add a running back. They went out and signed Super Bowl 60 MVP Kenneth Walker III, the most expensive free agent running back in NFL history, to a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million, with $28.7 million fully guaranteed. Let that sink in. The man who just won Super Bowl MVP, who just became the first running back since Terrell Davis in 1998 to win that award, is now carrying the ball for Patrick Mahomes. Walker is 25 years old. He played all 17 regular season games for Seattle in 2025 for the first time in his career, racking up 1,027 rushing yards and career-high 4.6 yards per carry. And then the playoffs happened. After Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL in the divisional round, Walker took over completely. He rushed for 313 yards and 4 touchdowns in 3 postseason games. In the Super Bowl against the Patriots, he ran for 135 yards, the most by any player in a Super Bowl in 28 years, and earned MVP honors. Here's what makes Walker different from anything the Chiefs have had in years. The man is a broken tackle machine. In 2025, he forced 61 missed tackles, ranking 5th among all running backs in the league. He had 34 career carries of 20-plus yards since entering the league in 2022, 4th most among all running backs in that span. He can turn a standard handoff into a highlight reel play on any given snap. Now compare that to what Kansas City had last year. Isaiah Pacheco had 0 rushing attempts of 20-plus yards in the entire 2025 season. Kareem Hunt had 1. As a group, the entire Chiefs' backfield forced just 49 missed tackles all season long. Walker forced 61 by himself. Andy Reid spoke about the signing and said it directly: the run game is important, the offensive linemen in front of Walker are good, and with him staying healthy and moving forward, good things can happen. That's Reid speak for, we're building around this. And with Eric Bieniemy returning as offensive coordinator, the same Bieniemy who was part of the Chiefs' most dominant offensive years from 2018 to 2022, the scheme is going to shift. According to GM Brett Veach, the Chiefs are expected to run the ball more out of conventional sets in 2026 instead of relying so heavily on run-pass options. Walker will be running behind a strong interior line featuring Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and Kingsley Suamataia. Defenses won't be able to load up and dare Mahomes to beat them anymore. They have to respect this backfield now. But the Walker and Kelce headlines are only part of the story. On defense, the Chiefs added Khyiris Tonga from the New England Patriots, the same Patriots Walker just destroyed in the Super Bowl, on a 3-year deal worth $21 million with $14 million guaranteed. Tonga is a 6'2", 335-pound interior defensive tackle who brings genuine run-stopping ability and pocket push. Chris Jones already called him a dog on social media the minute the signing dropped. When your best defender is that excited about an addition, that means something. The Chiefs also re-signed wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, who quietly had some big moments for the offense last year when Xavier Worthy was hurt and Rashee Rice was suspended. Keeping him around gives Mahomes another familiar option and maintains continuity in the receiving group. Then there's Justin Fields, who the Chiefs acquired from the Jets in a trade, giving them a mobile, capable bridge quarterback while Mahomes finishes his ACL recovery. Mahomes himself has said he wants to be ready for Week 1, and reports out of the facility suggest he's ahead of schedule. But having Fields as a safety net shows this organization isn't taking any risks. Now let's be honest about what this retooling has cost them. Cornerback Trent McDuffie was traded to the Los Angeles Rams. That's a significant loss for the secondary. Jalen Watson also went to the Rams. Isaiah Pacheco signed with the Detroit Lions. Safety Brian Cook headed to the Bengals. Linebacker Leo Chenal went to the Commanders. And Gardner Minshew, who stepped in admirably when Mahomes went down, signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Some of these losses hurt. McDuffie especially was one of the better young cornerbacks in the league. But the return in draft capital from the Rams trade, which included 2 first-round picks, gives Brett Veach the resources to address the secondary through the draft. With 9 picks in the 2026 draft, including the 9th and 29th overall selections, Kansas City has the ammunition to rebuild the back end of that defense the way Steve Spagnuolo knows how to do it. Step back and look at everything at once. You have Mahomes returning from an ACL, ahead of schedule. You have Kelce locked in for what could be his final season and fully motivated. You have the Super Bowl MVP in your backfield. You have Eric Bieniemy back running the offense. You have draft picks to fix the defense. And you have a coaching staff that has been here before, that knows what it takes to win championships. This team isn't rebuilding. They are retooling with urgency. There's a difference. Rebuilding is accepting that you need time. Retooling is refusing to accept that your window is closing. The 2025 season was a wake-up call. The 6-11 record, the Mahomes injury, the broken run game, all of it exposed real problems. But the Chiefs' response has been aggressive, calculated, and smart. They didn't panic. They diagnosed the issues and attacked them directly. If Patrick Mahomes comes back healthy, and everything points to him doing exactly that. And if Kenneth Walker becomes the backfield weapon this offense has been missing for the past 2 years, the Kansas City Chiefs could look dramatically more dangerous than the team that missed the playoffs last season. Don't sleep on this team. The rest of the AFC is about to remember why Kansas City has been the standard for the last 8 years. Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you right now. Do you believe this offseason is enough? Is Kenneth Walker the missing piece that finally gives this offense the balance it's needed? Or do you think there are still holes that need to be fixed before September? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one and I always reply. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. We're building something real here in Chiefs Kingdom, and every subscriber helps us keep going. I'll see you in the next one.